Yo guys, what's up? It's Luke. Day 59. Welcome back. As you can see, I'm outside the apartment. As you can see in the reflection. There you go, on the bike. Guys, this quality is fucking crazy. I hope this uploads like this to the computer or to YouTube, but I just wanted to check in on the second bike ride for today. Been having some pretty good realizations lately. Been practicing my mewing a lot. Yeah, day 59 in NoFap. As you can see, it is sunny as can be outside. Wasn't like that all day today. I couldn't sleep last night for some reason. I had a cookie before I went to bed, and sometimes sugar makes me stay up. I've noticed it, at least lately. And I was up until 5, and so I was just editing video stuff. This video editing stuff is just crazy, guys. I get such a rush from this. So I'll check in later, guys. Maybe during or after the bike ride. I had a really good realization today about NoFap and really how to beat it. And I think what sets, most of the people who are successful with it apart from the people who might not be so successful. So stick around, guys, and I'll see you. Back. Check it out. I'm under the underpass. This is fucking sick. So I was riding around, guys, and I had the realization that NoFap, in order to be successful on it, it's not just one principle. And I've been one to not only include more benefits, but like actually tips and make separate tip videos and like how-to videos. But I've just needed to record these type of sessions, and so I kind of have an archive to where I can pull and say, okay, I've talked about this, I've talked about that, so I can actually give you guys a system, because I have a system that has worked for me. I have used success principles that other people, humans, males, have used. Everybody's system is going to be a little different because each of our own vices and our own level of addiction and our personalities are different. Like, for instance, I realized after I bought a reboot program and actually had a system. So I all along had been using certain principles and success principles like daily habits, meditation, getting pleasure from different activities outside of PMO. So you're basically replacing that, so you're not losing that, so your brain's not short-circuiting when you're rebooting. I'd use like proven principles like that, but I also needed to tailor it to myself. And so what I realized that I wasn't doing is that I wasn't being reflective enough in the sense that I wasn't thinking about who I was and kind of like my daily habits. So I guess I could say it this way to make it make more sense. For me, I realized that I was just bored. Like, my urges came from me sitting on my couch. I enjoy watching movies, so during my reboot process in the past, when I wasn't fully successful, but when I would still have good streaks, I'd be watching a movie, and then it's like, okay, I had my pleasure-seeking activity. That gave me a good dopamine hit. That gave me good, probably opioids. I'm not sure if we get opioids from that. I know we get opioids from food, and that's like the pleasure we get from eating. But I wasn't even taking into account like that I just needed to not be bored anymore. So one thing that I learned that helped like eliminate so much of my problem and so many of my urges was when I noticed that I would start to get bored, and then it would take a while, and then thoughts would start to creep in, and then eventually, not every time, because I got better at saying no to my urges, but I got better at saying no to my urges, but I would still get bored and they would still creep in, and sometimes I would still relapse. I didn't always want to relapse. So, NoFap, guys, there are tried and true principles, and you need to know them, and I will tell you them. I know most of them. I'm still learning every day. I know things that have worked, and in my experience, I may have had to use more of them than somebody else, like, because I was pretty addicted to PMO. But it's a whole system, guys, and it's personal as well. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, beating NoFap, what's led me to beat NoFap is more of a system. It's more of principles and reflection. And while you take from other people's systems, you also make your own system. And as I was on my bike ride earlier, because I do some downhill biking, it's not like official, but there's just a hill I know that can go really fast down, and that's my dopamine seeking activity. That gives me a rush. And so, as I've mentioned before, guys, you replace PMO with those types of activities. And I was thinking, man, I know I've read online, I know in my own experience, I know I've seen people that they do all this stuff, they apply these principles, and they go out and do something fun, they go out and do something that they enjoy, and they still relapse. They still go, dude, fuck, I went out and I saw a giraffe today, I went on a safari. There was a guy in my reboot group on Facebook that he was living in France and he was doing an au pair, and so he was in a beautiful country, and he was basically messaging us on Facebook every day saying, guys, I just relapsed in my host family's apartment, in their house, whatever he was staying at. And he was basically saying, like, he was really early on in the journey, right? He was basically saying, hey, I'm getting novelty every day. I've never been in Europe. I'm doing new things, but I'm still having these urges and I'm still succumbing to them. So that made me think, well, what the hell was the one thing that really made me go from not being able to say no to being able to say no? Write down all the negative consequences that PMO is giving you. Then write down why you want to do this. Why you want to be free from this, why you want to stop this bad habit. And the first one, the negative, is going to start to associate negativity and literal body pain with porn. So you think of that every time you have an urge, every time you go to PMO, you'll start to associate negativity with that and pain. So that's going to keep you away from that, because as humans, we desire to avoid pain more than we'll go towards pleasure or go towards our ideal. And when you do these activities, guys, don't write it down and don't get in your head and force it. Just start writing, because when you're writing and when you get into that flow, your mind is quiet. You're not in your mind, you're in your heart. And so when you go to read that on the daily, it's going to be something that actually resonates with you. It's going to be truly what you want. And so that's the system, guys, for desire. Desire is one of my secrets. For the longest time, it didn't work. I thought I wanted it, but I wasn't applying it properly. And so the last thing I want to leave you guys with is what I think desire does. And I'll say it like this. Desire determines how much you can say no to your urges. I'll say it again. Desire determines how much you can say no to your urges. When you want it badly enough, guys, when that urge comes up and you follow this protocol, and you want it badly enough, you want that positive badly enough, and you also start to feel the negative, and you almost get mad. You go, no. You'll be able to, one, say no to those urges, and you'll also notice that you're starting to be in the right place. All right, y'all. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, if the recap helped, which I hope it did, and made things more simple, subscribe and just toss me a little like. If you want to see more content like this, obviously I'm going to be bringing a lot more content like this now that I've been working on that editing. So thanks, guys, for watching. And if you feel so inclined, drop a comment in the comment below to explain if there's been one thing, if there's been one principle, if there's been one habit that's helped you beat NoFap, because as I said earlier, desire is one of the secrets in my own personal system that I discovered that really helped me beat it. So as always, thanks for watching, guys, and keep learning.